Hi everyone, welcome to the January 2020 edition of Farsight's Time Cross Project. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Courtney Brown, Director of the Farsight Institute, and we have an incredible report for you today. In September 2019, just a few months ago, scientists from the Goddard Institute of Space Science, which is essentially a laboratory in NASA, reported that they conducted a variety of computer climate simulations of the planetary evolution of Venus. And they found that the simulations indicated that Venus once was much cooler and had lots of liquid water, oceans even. Moreover, the simulations indicate that something happened approximately 700,000 years ago that trashed the planet. Huge levels of carbon dioxide were released from the ground, and the planet became what we see now. A hot oven with temperatures of 460 degrees centigrade, which is nearly 900 degrees Fahrenheit, with a really heavy atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. Well, there are two mysteries here. The first one is whether or not those computer simulations are correct, indicating that Venus was once a planet that was a lot cooler and which had lots of liquid water. But the second question, of course, is what the heck happened that transformed a livable environment into what we have today? So for today's Time Cross, we address the first of those questions. Was Venus once a cooler place with water and maybe even life? We think we know the answer, and you will witness firsthand what we found out in a minute. But first, I want to share with you a bit about what is happening here at Farsight. In our last Time Cross show, I mentioned that we are going to do something really huge in 2020, a new type of filmmaking. Now, while many of you are enjoying our Time Cross shows and our current set of major mysteries projects, few of you realize that we have been holding back big time. You see, there are rather serious restrictions regarding what we can publish on YouTube and even other social media sites. Advertisers are skittish about all sorts of topics, and YouTube and other social media sites have to listen to the worries of their advertisers. It's not evil, it's business. But regardless of the cause, direct or indirect censorship has real consequences in terms of both money and what you see. For example, as a result of this and other factors, our YouTube income from advertisements is only about $250 a month, which is essentially nothing relative to our costs. Now, with us, money is not the reason why we do what we do. So we are not complaining about that. In fact, I am grateful that YouTube exists and that it allows us to do what we do on our YouTube channel. We are going to happily continue doing what we have already been doing on YouTube. But we are going to do something else also. Something that directly addresses our ability to speak freely. The only way to let you know our discoveries and real thoughts about the bigger questions facing us, all of us, is for us to create our own video streaming service, something totally comparable in capability and quality to Netflix, Hulu, Disney, and so on, but which would only feature Farsight content. Content that we would control completely and which would not be influenced by the inhibiting concerns of others. So, as of right now, FarsightPrime.com is up and running, and you can find it using your favorite web browser. FarsightPrime.com is our new video streaming service. It is a subscription-based service just like Netflix, Hulu, and the like, with a monthly or discounted yearly fee. Again, you can get to it using your normal web browser, and as a subscriber, you can watch all of our major mysteries projects for the same single monthly fee. Moreover, you can easily cast the movies to your flat panel TVs or other devices, including Chromecast. And in terms of new material, on FarsightPrime.com, we will not hold back. Now, there are two important issues. First, everyone who previously purchased our past movies on Vimeo still has access to those movies on your Vimeo accounts. That has not changed. But moving forward, all of our new major mysteries projects are going to be put on FarsightPrime.com. It is cheaper, better, and more versatile in every way. And if there are a bunch of our mysteries projects that you have not yet seen, you can see them all as a subscriber right now on FarsightPrime.com. Second, we are still going to continue producing our monthly Time Cross show for YouTube, and it will remain free on YouTube. That is the show you're watching right now. It is a great show with a very actively engaged audience. Important stuff comes out with each episode, but for the stuff we simply cannot show you on Time Cross, and for our ability to connect the dots, you will find that at FarsightPrime.com, That is where we put the deep stuff. Now, we are creating a lot of new content for FarsightPrime.com, both in terms of long and short projects. I simply cannot begin to describe what we have in the works. It is just too much. But I can mention that our first major new release on FarsightPrime.com will be the new nonfiction movie, The Death Traps, and that will be out in mid-January 2020 in just a couple of weeks. The Death Traps is just the beginning of the deep that we will begin to address seriously this year. Things are not smooth sailing when you die. Even if you live to the ripe old age of 120, if you ever plan on dying, you need to see this. The trailer will be out soon. In other news, our remote viewers continue to expand their Instagram offerings where they feature what they do outside of Farsight, including their modeling photos. They do this for fun, and I think you will like it as well. You can find it on Instagram at Farsight Remote Viewing. Check it out. It is fun. Finally, PrinCess Jeaneé has been actively teaching the Farsight version of remote viewing in 2019, and she is now starting to schedule classes for 2020. You can find her on the website princessviews.net. Now, on to the mystery of Venus. Was it ever cooler, with water, and habitable, as computer climate simulations suggest? See it for yourself. There are two targets for this project. First is the surface of Venus now, hot, with a heavy and corroding atmosphere. The second target is what Venus looked like 1 billion years ago. Let's begin with a look at what Venus looks like now. All of the remote viewing for this project was done under totally blind conditions. There were initial paper sessions, and then the remote viewers continued their work on video. Now for this project, all remote viewers were highly experienced with recording on video, so there was no production specialist in the room when they did their sessions. Everything was done totally solo and blind. This is a fascinating story with tremendous implications for all of humanity, which I will explain after you see the sessions. Beginning with PrinCess Jeaneé, then Kahmia Dunson, Melena Hall, and finally Trudy Benjamin, here is what Venus looks like now. And after you see this, I will show you what it looked like 1 billion years ago. And then I will return to pull this all together with a brief summary and analysis, so hold on to your seats.
Five 4723. My basic gestalts here are land and mountains. Land. I have a mixture of level and irregular topography here. Steep peaks, mountains off here and here. A bright light glow. I feel it's a little rocky but smooth and open, warm. Maybe Am I on the? It reminds me of when I'm on the moon. It reminds me of when I'm on the moon. I think I might be. I'm not sure. I see yellows and browns and oranges. Bumpy terrain. Hard for me to breathe here. Hard. Very hard. Bumpy terrain. Sand dunes. Dust. Not smoke, like dust when it's gathered up. It feels like a desert, but nothing else. There's nothing, I don't see anything else. It's just empty terrain, open terrain, rocky, bumpy, yet smooth, and it's hard to breathe here, and it's like there's nothing else here. For my first target A. For backstory, that's all that I see.
Okay, so I see a lot of mountains here. Again, just a lot of irregular topography and a lot of like open, flat land. I can also see just like some structures down here. It looks like a small city or something, you know, just like a couple of structures here. So it kind of looks like this. Okay, so got just a lot of irregular topography in this background, a couple of structures down here, and then just like open, vast, flat land. Okay, so also like it feels like something is off here though. Like when I'm looking at it, it just looks like a normal like place in space. Like nothing's happening here, it's just structures and some mountains. But when I probe, it's like inside, it feels like something tragic has happened here, and it feels like just like something like sad, and I just have like a blanket of just sad and tragedy lays on top of this target. Okay, that's like kind of basically what it feels like here, just like a blanket of sadness and some structures and some mountains. Again, it's just, and it like, oof, I feel it like right here. Like when you get bad news and like your stomach feels like that's what it feels like when I probe this target. I can also hear this just like deep, aggressive vibrations. It kind of feels like an earthquake, you know? Like you don't like hear earthquakes, but you can like feel it and like kind of also like hear the after part. Like you can't hear the earthquake, okay, but you can hear everything on top quaking. So it's kind of like I can just feel the aftermath of something, or I can feel like, yeah, it just feels like I can feel like the aftermath of something here. But you know, there's like nothing here. But I just hear this very loud vibrating noise. It feels like, it's like if something hit the ground really hard and you can hear it like hit the ground like that, you know? Okay. And it's kind of like, it's really all that's here. There's nothing like else going on. Just, again, a lot of irregular topography, mountains, a couple of structures, and just really a lot of vast, open, flat land. And yeah, you know, that's really all I have here. Just land and structures and a lot of mountains and just this weird blanket of sadness and a loud like vibrating frequency, or just a loud vibrational roar going on here. And yeah, that's all I have for target 21348915.
Today I have two targets, target A and target B, starting with target A. I'm feeling hot temperatures, very hot. Seeing colors like a desert orange, tan color, ground. I see no foliage or no water, just a very dry dirt land, very dry here. A lot of winds. Hot winds just flowing. Very sandy environment, like just dirt everywhere. Noticeably quiet environment. I do hear noises from above. I'm getting a non-surface object here flying over this area. This object is very large. I hold a group of subjects here. I'm getting a lot of female and male energy inside this whole large object, which is non-surface and is floating above this dry land. This area just seems so familiar, but I'm seeing a lot of large peaks and sand ground. Almost like Egypt, but there's no water at all, no good air, just all dirt, sand, and just wind, but it's very hot, very hot. It's hard to breathe. But they're flying above these peaks, and seems like they're from this area or they're looking for something. I'm getting a lot of back and forth movement, a lot of natural and man-made movement at the same time, a lot of energetics flowing around.
Today, I will be exploring target coordinates 88141451. Basic gestalt for this target is land. Setting warm temperatures, flat land with the mixture of tall hills, level topography, and very bright sunlight. There's not very much here on the land. It's just lots of hills and different levels of extensive topography.
Okay, so that is what Venus looks like now. No surprises. We already knew that from mainstream planetary science. This is a good example of how remote viewers work with totally verifiable targets. And you can see that the process works. But, as you will soon see, this is not what Venus used to look like. Using the same process, we will now go back 1 billion years.
I'll reach up to hold your
718352446. Movement, land, subjects. There's a distant base surface, flat land mixed with irregular topography. I have a sloping here. There's a slope of land, warm temperatures, but there's a chill in the air. There's like a chill in the air, almost like something that could cause a thunderstorm. Very clear skies, windy, very windy. Structures. I see structures here. 1, 2, 3. A few structures and mountains. What appears to be foliage, but I can't tell if it's foliage. But that's what it appears to be to me. This place feels like a planet, but like not Earth. Outer space, movement, upward movement, and then trickled back downwards. It's very bright here, very, very bright here. I want to move to the surface and see kind of what it is that I'm feeling and seeing. There's subjects on the base surface. non-surface structure moving over the base surface. There's a non-surface structure. The surface, water. There's water here. Like it's not like a lot, but there's water here. The light is very bright. There's some kind of intense activity. I feel a lot of energy, a lot of like it's heavy on me. It's heavy. Weird shaped non-surface structure, like a dragon airplane. It's got this, like you can, I wish I could draw that right now. Like I can draw it if I tried. It's big. It's like a transformer or some kind of Megatron flying triangular dragon faced airplane. It's big.
And to get lost.
All right, so for this target, my basic gestalts are land, structures, and subjects, and mountains. Just like instantly when I probed, I just got this rush of just like excitement, or I'm gonna call it excitement because I don't know what else to call it, but it just felt like I probed and like I felt everything all at once, okay? I probed and like my heart instantly was like and I instantly just like felt like I was cued in just now. Like, it sounds so weird to say, okay, but I probed this target and it was just very overwhelming already. I don't even know, probably nothing overwhelming happens, but there's a lot of something going on here, just based off of 2 probes. Okay. All right. So I've got mountains. I've got like these just mountains here, and I've got land here. I also can see like peak. I also can see like structures. Okay, so instantly right off the back, I've got mountains and land and structures. And I also have a lot of subjects here. I have a lot of like subjects kind of running around. They feel male and female. And also I can just hear like something that sounds like thunder and rain, like bad weather. It kind of looks like this. Again, just mountains and structures and open land. I'm also just picking up a large crowd of subjects. So there's just subjects everywhere. Again, just a bunch of subjects. This looks like a crowd of subjects to me. It looks like they're all together. So it's just like a bunch of subjects, a bunch of structures, and a bunch of mountains. And a lot of like clouds and like cloud dynamics. So just like, it looks like a big cloud is here. Like getting rained on, or just big clouds, big thunder sounds I hear, just like people talking and moving about. All the activity here just seems to be like on the surface. It doesn't seem like anything outside of what I'm looking at is happening, just subjects and structures. And for some reason, this area feels like very foreign to me. Like it feels like I'm in like I'm in another country. Okay, so yeah, like I'm in another country. Like I feel like I should be seeing something like more, but like it's just very bright here, and there's just subjects everywhere, and it just feels like very like crowded, and like a lot is going on, kind of like if you were to go like to a downtown like market. We're just gonna compare it to a market. Like it's like at a marketplace, you know, there's a bunch of stuff going on. There's people everywhere. People are shopping. People are trying to sell things. You know, it just feels like kind of like that energy. There's just a lot going on here. Just like, but like normal things. It doesn't feel like something's like off, I guess. But again, all I see is just very, very bright. It looks like I'm in like broad daylight, or I'm in like the middle of like the freaking desert, you know, somewhere that's just like super, super bright. And there's mountains, and there's structures, and there's just like a ton of people everywhere, like a big crowd of people. And yeah. Not really seeing or feeling anything else, just a lot of, it just feels like a lot, like it just feels like a lot of people, a lot of like stuff going on in the air, like weather-wise, like I hear crashing and thunder, and like I feel like I can like sense like rainfall or something. So that's all I have for target 1872. 4631.
I guess you forgot me.
So I'm seeing again irregular topography. I also feel water nearby. I see foliage. Lots of trees. I'm seeing lots of land. Also seeing mountains. The smell of natural smells, burning smells here somewhere. I'm getting a structure in the middle of this area. Also getting a object above. Has a weird glow light to it. This area feels like the wilderness, or again, something very distant, not city-like, but I'm seeing a farm. I'm getting a farm in the middle of this area. I'm getting a old house, farm, in between these trees and mountains in this distant area near water. And again, a flying object above this. I'm feeling moderate temperatures below, but I'm also getting hot temperatures above. Very, very grassy area, like a lot of grass. It's like a big lawn. A big lawn here. And again, I'm seeing subjects on this land. Standing outside, looking around. I don't know if they notice what's above, but this object is flying above these subjects here. Feels like it's trying to come down or come up at the same time. It seems like it's attaching to the energy below where these subjects are. This object is very fast and seems to be getting these subjects and leaving this very natural earth-like area.
I am sensing warm weather and multiple structures around this area as well. There's lots of movement and activity in this location, like a moving object similar to a non-surface structure, with subjects nearby on the inside or on the outside. There's pulsing sounds and whooshing sounds, like movement, very fast kinetic movement from objects or vehicles. And man-made smells. I am sensing multiple subjects in this location, but also water. There's lots of wet feelings. I'm like around the structure and on the land, there's water, land-water interface. There's also loud pulsing sounds as well. This man-made smell it's ticking me. It's like poisonous. I'll detect. I'll deduct that there's something poisonous here in this area, or something dangerous at least. That smell. Then also on top of the land-water interface, there's lots of activity around these structures. And these non-surface structures, I'm noticing very fast movement. And these loud sounds of whooshing is kind of like wind-like sounds. They are wind-like sounds. And this bright light is really coming from the sun in the sky. There's a lot of activity just in the air. There's multiple subjects in this area. With all the activity, I'm sensing lots of loud sounds and multiple structures. These non-surface structures are moving really fast upward. And there is level topography, but also really tall hills and high land. These subjects are in a commotion. I'm sensing a lot of danger in this form of activity. Like there's something dangerous inside the area. Sensing pale skin tones from visualizing the subjects. There's work outfits or work attire from subjects that are on the base surface of this location. The activity around these subjects is very chaotic and loud. There's lots of movement, and I'm really sensing danger in this area. And a lot of subjects. From an aerial view looking down, I'm seeing a lot of hills, a lot of land-water interface around multiple subjects and structures. There's a lot of activity and movement from these non-surface structures, as well as movement from the subjects inside and outside of these structures as well. And there's warm temperatures and tall hills, extensive topography, and loud whooshing sounds. And there's some serious danger in this area as well. I'm sensing fear from my emotions of the subjects in this area, and this is possibly a harsh environment.
Well, as you can now see, Venus of today is not the Venus of long ago. It is clear that the scientists who have been running the planetary climate simulations regarding Venus are correct with their simulations. Venus was once a place with lots of light, warmer than Earth in general, but cool enough to have liquid water and, as you can see, life. Why is this so important to the larger collection of our Farsight studies? Well, you see, if you look at all of our studies at Farsight, it is clear that both Mars and Maldek, which is now the asteroid belt, once contained abundant life. And now we know that Venus also contained life in the distant past, including Earth. That is 4 planets in our solar system that have or once had life. 3 of the planets, Mars, Maldek, and Venus, are now dead. Earth is the only surviving planet capable of sustaining life on a large scale. Some major event or series of events destroyed the life-sustaining capabilities of 3 of the 4 planets. Our solar system is not a mystery, it is a train wreck. I cannot right now fully explain why this all happened, but I can say that we will slowly and carefully explain the entire story with all of its complexity on farsightprime.com. For those of you who are willing to hear that story with all of its complexity, it will not be hidden from you. Our future will be determined by those of you who are willing to understand the past. Well, that is it for this month's edition of Time Cross, and thank you so much for watching. Also, I hope you get a chance to watch our upcoming release, The Death Traps. Also, our recent mysteries project, Oumuamua and the Bird of Prey, as well as our other mysteries projects such as the Secret Apollo Moon Missions, Moses Beyond Exodus, The War in Heaven, and also Tunguska Complexity, Remote Viewing Area 51, the Roswell UFO crash, the investigations into the 9/11 events, the assassinations of John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King, the psychology of Adolf Hitler, and some amazing explorations into UFOs and extraterrestrial life. You can find all of them on farsightprime.com, the place where we show you the deep, deep, and where we connect all the dots. I hope you become one of our monthly subscribers. As always, all Farsight remote viewing work is done by highly trained remote viewers working solo under totally blind conditions with no communication between any of the remote viewers. So Farsight projects are nothing short of amazing, and there is nothing like it anywhere else. And remember that when you watch our mysteries projects, you are helping us at Farsight do our work, including the funding for our Time Cross project, which we offer free to the public, but which costs us a few $1,000s to do each month. So you really help when you follow and watch our activities and research. Without you watching our projects, we would not exist. Finally, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Farsight Press, to keep up with the latest Time Cross episodes. And please remember to click on the notifications bell that appears after you click on the subscribe button. The subscribe button by itself does not do much. It is similar to a like on social media. So that notifications bell is the key to being notified when we publish a new project. You can find information about all of our present and past activities on our website. Also on our website, please sign up for our free email newsletter, where we announce all of our major projects. To be safe, it is actually best to do both things, to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to sign up for our free email newsletter. Those really are the only ways we can let you know when we post something new. Stay ahead of the curve. Let the mainstream fade in the dust. Be there now.